Well, joining us now on the programme live from Beirut is Stephanie Khouri, political journalist for L'Orient-Le Jour. Thanks very much for being with us on the programme. So 5 years on, inevitably a time, of course, when many Lebanese are going to remember those who lost their lives and also thinking to themselves, just why has no one been held to account?
Yes, it's quite surreal for us here in Lebanon. Right after the blast, the authorities vote to uncover the truth about what happened and held officials accountable in a couple of days. 5 years later, we still do not know what happened, and most importantly, no one has been held accountable. We don't know who is responsible for getting the ammonium nitrate in the port in the first place. Those in the government and in the state that were aware that the material was being stocked and that it was a ticking bomb for the city are still no one has been held accountable, and we don't know who lit up the fire that led to the explosion on August 4. So yes, it is quite surreal and very hard to accept for people here 5 years later that we are almost back to square one.
We heard in the report some of the reasons that may be holding up this investigation, but what do the people feel about it? Are there specific individuals or specific cases that people blame for the reasons why there's been no conclusion as yet?
There's a lot of opacity around this the investigation. Very little known is known about the content of what the judge has access to and not access to. There's also a lot of rumors and speculations about what happened. For a long time, a lot of Lebanese were convinced that it was an Israeli air attack. Today, we know that there's very, very little chance that the explosion was triggered by an airstrike. Another part of the country was holding Hezbollah accountable for what happened, saying that it was holding munitions or material that it wanted to get rid of by setting up a fire that led to the giant explosion that we saw. So the fact that we have very little access to the content of the investigation, the fact that this entire explosion seems up till now very absurd and surreal for the population, has led a lot of misinformation, rumors and speculations about what happened.
And we also heard in that report, didn't we, that the new president, or relatively new president, President Ahoun, who came to power back in January, came to power pledging to push forward, pledging to get this report released. I mean, obviously he's failed in that, has he?
Yeah, well, the shift of power that the new president and the new prime minister that arrived at the beginning of the year allowed for the investigation to resume. The investigation of Judge Tariq Bitar, who's in charge of the investigation, was stopped for about 2 years. The new power allowed it to resume, so the judge has been able to restart its hearings. Everyone now is wondering what is taking so long, why after a month of reopening of the investigation, we haven't seen anything concrete. It's very hard to tell what's happening inside. Is he lacking elements to proceed to the accusation? Is he waiting for the entire fight to be solid? We do not know what's happening inside. It is protected by the secrecy of the investigation. What we know is that the government is steadfast in its willingness to allow for the investigation to proceed and to protect the justice from any political and outside interference.
And just finally, I mean, you mentioned earlier on how different people and different factions within the country are hoping to hear different things. Whichever conclusion finally does come about, presumably will be disbelieved by a certain proportion of people living there, particularly because there have been these delays.
Will it be disregarded by the population? I would say it depends how clear the judgment is. What I mean by that is if we take the comparison with the judgment that was given after the assassination of Rafiq al-Hariri. The judgment was given many years after the accident happened. The judgment pointed towards a specific direction. Specific individuals were named by the verdict, but no clear political organization was named and held accountable. If we reach a conclusion similar in the port explosion, meaning some individuals are being accused, but no big political organization or a clear regime or a clear political party is being pointed at, it might be that the judgment will be misunderstood, misread by the population, and perhaps not have a very big impact on the feeling that the Lebanese have in terms of having answers and a sense of justice.
Good to talk to you on the programme today. Thanks very much, Stephanie Khouri, political journalist.